Okay, let's see, any other questions we have coming in? Okay, how do you spell Jump 2007? Is it licensed, a flat cost for the software, a per build cost, a combination of the above? Well, of course, we'd like you to call Tira Wireless and get more information, of course. But certainly to give you an idea how it's going to be licensed, it's going to be a yearly subscription license for the platform and also a per-seat license for the developer desktop and additional seats for the deployment manager. So again, if you have more questions or deeper questions, we can certainly answer those for you directly. Just give us a call. Okay, I'm looking on the list here. Is there any others? Let's see. Okay, a lot of questions around jumplets, which is a good thing. Can a public jumplet secure its code? Is there any way it can secure its code so others can use it but not look inside? Sure, go for it.
So that can be done in that if there's some specific pieces of code that you did not want to expose, you could provide obfuscated jars with as a resource for your actual jumplet, and jar being a library itself. One thing to mention as well is when you're using aspect-oriented programming, you don't necessarily have to expose the actual IP of your application. You can actually just refer to specific method calls within J2ME or within a particular framework that you may be modifying.
Good answer there. Okay, how do you profile devices? Hands-on? Do you do it by hand, or is there a small tool? Which means you might not gain all the information. Well, there's a very vigorous process. Let me have Alan talk about how we do the profiling.
Yeah, we've built our own profiler, which will access virtually every single GSL APIs on the handset to figure out the behavior and understand if there's any bugs or out of ordinary behavior from the APIs. And with that tool, we capture all the information and enter that into the knowledge base, and as a result, creating jumplets that can automatically or semi-automatically address those issues.
Okay. Well, the questions are coming in fast and furious. Can you speak to Brew support? Everything you mentioned is about J2ME. Okay, well, for those of you who don't know, we have been focusing for this release, Tira Jump 2007, on the J2ME, but we do have Brew support in the platform today, and we intend to extend that, enhance that, and in our next release, we expect we're going to see some very good enhancements around the Brew platform. But today, as we stand in a new platform, you could use and create. You use the platform to create Brew applications. Okay. What's the footprint of the Tira framework on the devices? Alan, what do you think?
Good question. The Jump 2007 Jumplet architecture is based on aspect-oriented programming, and the aspect-oriented programming weaver is done entirely in source code. As a result, the overhead can be zero because we are not adding any proprietary library or anything into the source code. The resulting build can be as optimized as you can do it manually, hand code the optimization. So again, to answer your question, the footprint is can be zero.
Okay, good. Let's see. Okay, would customers be able to influence which specific devices will be added to the platform? Let me bring Amit in to answer that. He works a lot with our customers that do make these requests. What do you think, Amit?
Absolutely. So one thing to be noted, as Tony mentioned earlier, is we have our own relationships with the operators. So we're constantly getting pre-commercial devices and new handsets on our own. That being said, if there's additional handsets that a particular customer has access to that we may not, we actually have a tool that can be run that will profile the actual handset and provide some characteristics so we can create an initial description of that particular handset in the platform, and then once we obtain that particular handset, we can then profile it by hand and actually upload all that information directly into the platform. And as I mentioned earlier, since we work in a hosted model, we can hot deploy these fixes immediately.
Which is kind of on a related subject. Since you're using a tool for finding the issues, how do you handle those which you would not find for sure in this automated process? That's a good question, because the tremendous value of our platform is the knowledge that we gain over time. I mentioned it was a living, breathing organism. Hope I didn't scare anyone with that comment. But what we really have here at Tira Wireless, we also have a very strong services organization that is one of the world's leading services organizations doing porting, application development on the mobile platform. And guess what they use to do all their work? They use our platform. So what they do is they do a lot of the profiling of the devices as well as part of their operation, and they find a lot of the idiosyncratic behavior that we encapsulate in jumplets and put into our database. So we have a ready knowledge coming out with this release. We have a very strong set of jumplets that represent a tremendous amount of knowledge already in our database. We expect the community is going to help that grow, but we know that our Tira Services Group is going to ensure that we keep those issues coming into the system. Let's see, any other questions? Okay, I think that's about it. I really appreciate everyone's interaction. I mean, we're in a world here where we want to interact with you, our customers. I want to thank you for the questions and attending the webcast. I want to recommend that you come to our website for a wealth of new information about Tira Jump 2007 and other issues related to mobile content development and deployment. Picture there, you can see our website, but you can also see a couple of events coming up. If you want to meet us and talk with us, we're going to be at Java 1, and we'll also be at the BREW 2007 conference. Feel free to go ahead and click on that spot on the web page and set up an appointment with us. We'd love to talk to you. And again, thank you very much for spending the time. I know your time is valuable, and we really hope this has been beneficial to you. I'd like to thank Jerry, Ferdy, Alan, Amit, and the rest of the gang behind the scene that you didn't see. Everyone did a great job. Thank you very much, and that's it.